Well, their role is to help keep Maryland schools safe. For many school resource officers, that's only part of their job. They also try to establish connections with the students they protect. Joining us now is Senior Deputy Khalid Mitchell. He's from the Harford County Sheriff's Office, but also in schools for more than 20 years now. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I just want to talk to you really about forming a community. As we talk about some of the headlines right now, I'm guessing that's very important in your job to have this relationship with kids. What's that like now?
Yes. Well, as you said, for the past 20 years, I've had a lot of practice with it. Basically, the relationship thing with the kids is first and foremost when it comes to being an SRO. So, it can get tricky at times, but you do this basically by staying out of your office, being up and moving in the hallways, and constantly talking to kids. I don't like to use the term stay in their faces, but you definitely have to take advantage of the time to speak to them. That could be in the cafeteria, that could be walking down the hallway, it could be an after school athletic event. But the more you communicate with the kids, the uniform tends to disappear, and they
Sure.
tend to see you as not just a police officer, a normal police officer, but also a resource to them, a person they can come and talk to if they need be, whether it be about something that happened at home or something that's going on in school. So definitely communication is key in this job.
As you see some of these headlines, I'm curious, having those conversations and having that relationship, does it help you to key in on someone who you might in advance be able to talk to a parent or maybe talk to a counselor and say, perhaps it's John or Jane who may need a little extra help?
Oh, all of the time. I was just telling my PIO how I gravitate to the kids who may not be on a sports team or may not be playing the band, and you might see them sitting at a lunch table by themselves. I make it a point to go and sit at that lunch table with them, see how their day's going. I might not even know them, but after I get up from that table, I'll know them and I'll keep speaking to them as I see them in the hallway. And if they have an issue that may affect the school, you know, in confidence, I'd say, hey, is it okay if I go tell a counselor? Would you like to go see a counselor about it? Sometimes I'll walk them to the counselor, or if it's something that has to deal with an administrator or something going on at home, we'll definitely get them to an administrator. If they feel comfortable with me sitting in, I'll sit in. If they feel comfortable speaking with administration or a counselor by themselves, then certainly they can do that.
Yeah, when you see some of these incidents right now, I'm just curious of what goes through your mind as a person who I know, parents send their kids to you to keep an eye on. What do you think as you see some of the things going on across the nation right now?
Right. So the main thing I see on the news is the uptick in violence. Now, I don't want to say that, coming in school, all I'm seeing is violence. I'm not seeing violence, tons and tons of violence,
Hmm.
the assignments that I have. But I am seeing a rough time for kids to readjust to getting back into the classroom. Um, I'll give you an example of how tough it can be. I'm in a middle school now, so I'm dealing with the younger kids. Take a fourth grader, for instance. He's 9 years old, or she's 9 years old. Um, for the past year and a half, they've been in an environment that consists of their family and close friends. So everybody's going to think alike, talk about the same things. So when it's time to reintroduce that student back into the environment of plenty of kids, 400 kids at a lunchroom, you may have a gym class of 30 kids. That kid is now a sixth grade kid. Here it is 2 years
Hmm.
later, and they might have forgotten the etiquette of respecting and this civil things dealing with your classmates and all. And sometimes that can develop into disrespect or arguments. And what we do as SROs is try to coach them back into our environment and the school environment. And that's why where I see the most problems, where it's starting to get tough for them to re-enter that field. But like I said, it's a management thing that we do together as partnership with teachers, um, other students, and administrators. Together we're teaming to get the kids back to what we would call normal social environment.
Okay, okay. Only a couple seconds left, so I'm going to fill in some blanks for you because things I was impressed at. Officer of the Year, you've gotten that award. Also saw the bike donation, even got on the court with the kids and played some basketball. We appreciate the work that you're doing, sir. It's it's not just police work. This is community work.
That's right. That's right, Jason. I don't call it work. I'm going to find that whatever my school community wants, that's what I'll be for them. And I will be working on something at Patterson Mill here soon.
All right, I'm sure those kids are looking forward to it. That's Deputy Mitchell. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.